In India, where President Bola Tinubu has met with Nigerians living in that country, he told them to harness the country's rich diversity as a uniquely powerful tool for advancing prosperity and national development for the benefit of all citizens, emphasizing that Nigeria's diversity must be leveraged to drive economic growth, innovation, and social progress. The Nigerian leader, who is attending the G20 Leaders Summit in New Delhi, has been holding a series of meetings with investors who have shown commitment to bring in huge investment into Nigeria that will stimulate economic growth and create employment. President Tinubu also told his compatriots in India that despite the great human and natural resource wealth of the country, the leadership and public sector management deficit in the country has held Nigeria back from manifesting its destiny. On his part, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, told students that President Tinubu's foreign policy thrust includes 4 Ds, one of which is the diaspora, which focuses on improving the quality of services that Nigerians in the diaspora receive at Nigeria's missions abroad.
We are not poor in knowledge. We are not poor in human resources. We are not poor in capital resources. We are only poor in management and leadership. And that is why I ran for president, to help all of us mold the soul of our country in the right direction.
We have in store for the diaspora as far as foreign policy is concerned. It is one of the 4 Ds. We'll be talking about 4D diplomacy. So that one of the Ds is diaspora, and it is focusing on, first and foremost, improving the quality of service that embassies are delivering for Nigerians living outside Nigeria.
Factors like the inflation rate, the Naira devaluation, and the Russia-Ukraine war have affected the swift completion of the office space of the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission office in Abuja. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokpobiri, who took an inspection of the building site, said the commission deserved befitting premises to conveniently carry out their services. Helen Osamede Akins has more.
The construction of the Upstream Regulatory Commission office located at the Central Business District in Abuja started in 2021. The project has a completion period of 40 months, but the work pace has been slow due to several challenges. Having been briefed on the state of the project, the minister took a cursory visit along with the chief executive of the Upstream Regulatory Commission to the site to ascertain the level of work done. Upon the inspection of the site, the project handlers explained that some factors have slowed down the project. The minister assures the commission and the contractors of the support to ensure the completion of the project.
NUPRC is the foremost, regulatory agency of the upstream, petroleum sector in the country. Of course, you know that our Nigerian economy is largely dependent on oil, and so having a very conducive environment for them to work, cannot be overemphasized. And I've been here, we've been briefed by Gillette Beja, the contractor, and they raised a few concerns. We're going to work towards addressing those concerns. And we believe that when this building is completed, to whom much will be expected. They are already doing so much, from the brief we got. That's by the very difficult working environment. They have we're told that they have surpassed, their projections financially, for the country as at the end of the second quarter. And he has also said, you can ask him, he said they are going to also surpass the projections for the year 2023, which they did last year.
And the cement and diesel has gone up between the time we awarded the contract and now. So that's what affected the cost of the construction. Russia-Ukraine war, because of pandemic, it took time because, like the contractor said, a lot of once the old war was open, a lot of people people are going to suppliers at the same time. Okay, so they needed time to be able to sort out people.
Some of the project features include office blocks, a basement, 10 suspended floors, a penthouse, and 500 car lots. Helen Osamede Ikins, TVC News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the people of Itsekiri in Delta State have insisted there is no going back on their protest until the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission heeds to their demand on the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act. The protesters resolve to remain at the entrance of the commission in Warri as long as it takes. Iken Amici has more.
Sitting in their canopies here at the entrance of the Warri office of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, the protesting Itsekiri people are insisting that they will not leave until their demand is met. They warn the commission not to alter the list of the Board of Trustees of the host community trust set up by the Olu of Warri. In solidarity to their cause, chiefs of Itsekiri, led by the Ologbesere of Warri Kingdom, joined the protesters here.
The steps that our king has taken to ensure that each and every person benefits from the largesse that God Almighty has put on our land. A tiny group of people want to torpedo that. That's what we are saying we don't want to allow. And that is why people are here. Because lies have been told to the regulators. The branch in Warri here, in front of where we are now.
For them, the decision of their monarch, which is the collective will of the Itsekiri host communities, must be adhered to by the commission.
We, the Itsekiri people, have said enough. Therefore, we want everybody to hear us, to see us, to listen to us, to sympathize with us, to join our fight.
We have a new monarch that has brought direction to the Itsekiri nation. I want to let everyone know that the time where Itsekiri belongs to a small clique of people has since gone.
Overlordship of Olu of Warri over community lands within the Warri is not in dispute.
It is the third day since the protesters besieged the office of the NUPRC, insisting on their demand. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Warri.
The Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative says the country earned an underwhelming 818.04 billion naira from the solid mineral sector in the last 15 years, in spite of its huge deposits of natural resources. Well, now the 10th National Assembly is optimistic of a turnaround as the Parliament commits to enabling laws. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa has more.
It's the formal unveiling of the 2021 Solid Minerals Report by NEITI and the 12th in the series. The report put the total revenue that accrued to the government from the solid minerals sector over the years at 818.04 billion naira, noting this is significantly low compared to the economic potential of the sector. Moreover, of the 6.62 trillion naira total government revenue in 2021, the solid minerals sector, in line with the report, barely contributed 2.6%.
Is focused on impact, blocking leakages to enable our country to grow revenue. It provides information and data on Nigeria's solid minerals development, with special attention on helping the government at all levels.
For the Executive Secretary, Solid Mineral Development Fund, it is an opportunity to dispel some misinformation while also speaking to the incumbent administration's drive to genuinely use the sector as a viable alternative to oil.
The report is timely, and these types of reports help to engage the public and private sector to mold policy for future implementation.
The 10th National Assembly expresses readiness to work hand in hand with the government to realize its goal. And with the ongoing summit in Australia, the parliament says the prospect of attracting investments to Nigeria is high.
Credible information points to the fact that foreign nationals, we are all seeing it in the news, use even our security personnel, traditional channels and money to sustain the heinous activities that is being perpetrated in the solid mineral sector.
And we've come up with a legislative agenda that is going to guide how we're going to oversight this very critical sector that is this close to being declared a state of emergency.
The report covered payments by 1,214 companies operating in the sector and receipts by 3 government agencies. It also considered the quantities of minerals that they produced, utilized, and exported from the sector, reconciled the physical and financial transactions, and undertook special verification on some processes. Dr. Itsekiri, TVC News, Abuja.